Hello travelers, and welcome to a new video. I'm here once again with Dominic, and we have a report right now about Poland. There are high waters, there are water surges here in Poland. We've had heavy rains through last week, and especially last weekend. This last weekend here, we've had very hard rains. We've had continuous rains for almost days straight. It was actually really cold weather, but today it's a much nicer day. It's clearing up. It's much warmer, but the damage has been done. Southern Poland, Central Europe, Eastern Europe, Romania, Austria, they've all seen very torrential rains, and we've seen rivers rising and surging and causing flooding and a lot of damage, and we're here to report on it now. And it's expected to hit Wrocław this week. Today is Monday. It's expected to hit by Wednesday. And with more information, let's go to Dominic.
Hi guys. So I'm here to give a little bit of context and information, also historic information about what's happening. Well, the situation is pretty bad, not in Wrocław yet, but in the south of Poland. A lot of towns have been flooded, and there's a lot of damage. Now, what is happening now is not that unusual. The weather patterns are known. The last time there were big floods, it was in 1997 and 2010. And now we have another very large one. The culprit is a weather pattern called the Genoa Low. So it's like an area of a low pressure that forms in the northern Italy near the city of Genoa. And it sucks a lot of water from the Mediterranean Sea. From time to time it kind of hugs the Alps and goes north through the plains of Central Europe. So Slovenia, which was flooded this year, Austria, which is also flooded, and the runoff goes to Romania, then goes to Hungary, the Czech Republic, and the situation there is pretty bad. And then it reaches Poland, and particularly it reaches the mountains on the border of the Czech Republic and Poland, which are just south of us. And these are the mountains that Kerry has visited in one of his previous videos. The mountains make the air rise higher where it is colder, and so the water condenses more, and there is a lot more rain, and the mountains usually take the brunt of the Genoa Low effect. But from time to time other factors come in play. And in particular, it may happen that two areas of high pressure form to the west of Poland and to the east of Poland. And this Genoa Low gets held up over the mountains. Instead of going further, it stays in place and it just pours all the water in the mountains. And this is what happened this year.
Okay, so we got the report on the situation there from Dominic. Now, I'd like to ask you, Dominic, what cities have been affected the most in Poland, and which cities are about to be affected this week?
So, at the moment, the cities that are affected are the cities in the mountains, simply because the water has not yet reached the lowlands where we are. So the cities that were mostly affected are the cities of Lądek-Zdrój, which is like a spa town in the mountains, where the river there was so much water that the river flooded the city and destroyed a lot of buildings, destroyed bridges. One of the popular tourist attractions, a 15th century bridge dedicated to Jan Nepomucen, a saint, was completely destroyed. So that's a huge tragedy. And actually I was in Lądek-Zdrój this year in May. And when I look at the pictures, it's just unbelievable to see the streets I was walking now completely destroyed. Another famous town that's been highly affected is Kłodzko, Nysa, and it's another city, and Głuchołazy. I know it's a Polish name, not pronounceable to anyone else, but Głuchołazy, and Świeradów-Zdrój. And there was actually a dam in Świeradów-Zdrój which got broken. So the dam survived, but the embankment on the side of the dam got broken, and all of the water that was in the retention pool behind the dam just poured through it, and it destroyed the city. A few towns were really damaged, and there are actually, unfortunately, a few deaths in the area. I think 1 or 2 people in Kłodzko. I think one person, I heard about one person in Kłodzko and one person in Lądek. But the situation is dynamic. I know there are some people missing. That's also because of evacuation. People are taken to different parts of the country.
So what about Wrocław? Is Wrocław in danger right now?
So Wrocław, that's still up in the air. In 1997, Wrocław, the very similar weather and very similar floods have flooded Wrocław up to the first floor. And actually the area where me and Kerry, where we live, was flooded up to first floor. To be very precise, flooding in the mountains and flooding in the lowlands are two very different things. It's very difficult to manage flooding in the mountains because this is where all the water comes in. There's not a lot of space, so it's difficult to do those retention pools. And because the mountains are rocky, the ground cannot hold a lot of water, and because they are steep, the water comes down very fast.
And what are we looking at here? Is this one of the
And that's
tributaries?
one of the rivers, yes.
Okay.
That's the river Oławka, and actually this is the river Oławka. This is actually the river that highly contributed to the flooding of the area where we live in, where we currently live
So
in.
this is much higher than normal
It's already
here.
around 1 meter higher than normal. It's
And
visibly higher.
We
You
just
can
had
see where
some fire engine here recently. They were taking measurements.
Yeah.
You can see it's kind of blocked off the road here.
you can see where the grass is. Usually that's above water, and now it's below the water. But it's still not bad, right? There's plenty of space here, but that's because the high water will come to Wrocław in 2 days, on Wednesday. Because of course the water needs to come.
So Wednesday it's going to hit Wrocław.
Yes, because the water needs to come from the mountains to the plains, right? It takes some time. So in 1997, the problem was that there were two different rivers where the high water met at the same time. So that was Odra and Nysa. Nysa is the river that flooded Kłodzko. And because those two high waters met at the same time, they kind of summed. And that's why in Wrocław the water was so high. This was coupled with bad infrastructure, which was neglected by the communists, and in the 90s, where Poland was much poorer than now, and some bad decisions on the part of the authorities, and Wrocław was flooded. Now this time it's unlikely it will be that bad. We already had a flood in 2010, which is comparable to what is now, and Wrocław was fine. There were areas of Wrocław that were flooded, particularly the Kozanów area, which is much further down the river. The Oder is large enough that it can handle high water from any of the smaller rivers and will not flood. So, but if a few of them meet, that's a problem. And the infrastructure in Racibórz helps that. It keeps back the high water on the Oder River. A lot of that water comes actually from the Czech Republic, so that the high water from the mountains here in Poland passes through Wrocław first, and then after it passes through Wrocław, the rest of the water will be let go, and and Wrocław will be safe.
I asked Dominic if any other cities were going to be affected in Poland, any major cities like Krakow, like Warsaw, like Poznan. He said no, just Wrocław. So we're going to go look at another.
Not to the same extent, right?
Not to the same extent.
Krakow is a bit affected, but it's the flooding to the same extent this year is not expected.
Okay, so we're passing some of these homes built on the water here. This is quite interesting, like a houseboat. There's another one being built next door.
Yeah, and the one on the left, that's actually a cafe, and it's very nice. It actually won the best cafe in Wrocław award, I think, last year or this year. It's very nice.
Let's take a look at this, and let's take a look at the river also, see if it's rising.
So
we've seen a few people down here looking at the river, trying to see if it's rising. Also, this is rising here, right?
Yeah.
Look at this.
So that's the Oder River. You can see it goes much quicker than usual. And usually there where there is the green in the distance, that's usually above water. So it's already like a meter or two, I think.
And this is the Odra.
That's the Odra, yes.
Odra.
The Oder River.
Is this a little bit more surge than normal here?
Yes,
I mean, the speed of the water?
Yes, that's a little bit more surge. It's still kind of not tragic. You can see debris kind of stuff floating down the river. People are not yet worried, but you know, everyone is gangsta until dead cows start to float by your house.
Yeah. I went to my bank this morning to get some money, and the building in front, they had like sandbags out in the front of the building. So I was asking her what's going on there. She said everything is fine for now, but we expect, what Dominic was saying, this Wednesday a surge. So definitely I'm going to come down here Wednesday, take a look at it. I might put it in a short, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna release this video soon because we want to get the information out there.
Yeah. So yeah, the sandbags, you can see them all across the city, and there are various reasons for that. First thing is like the back surge from the drains that can happen if the water is high in the river, and so people that have like shops or apartments on the ground floor or basements, they want to be protected. You can see how much debris is going down the river.
Yeah, I just saw some things going by.
Yeah, when the high water comes on Wednesday, you will probably see the whole trees going by. So it's quite a sight. It's quite a sight.
This looks higher already than normal for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot higher. It's not so. In 1997, the water was almost up to the bridge. Yeah.
Look at that, a lot of debris going down. You can see that large debris there. Wow, that is not something you see normally.
No, definitely it's not. And there will be a lot of more debris.
That is crazy. So we're gonna see maybe parts of houses and everything coming down the river.
Well, that's possible. In Głuchołazy, the water took 2 bridges. So there was a new bridge being built in Głuchołazy, and near there was like a temporary bridge set up. And the water broke the temporary bridge and carried it with it, and then hit the new bridge that's being built, and all of this went down the river.
Do you think they'll have to shut this bridge down Wednesday, possibly?
They will probably shut it down for cars and trams. However, it should be still possible to cross it by foot. All of the southern Poland, now south of Wrocław, there are no trains going there.
Right.
Because some of the bridges are.
So how do the people get out if there's no trains?
By car.
They have evacuation.
So by cars, and there is a lot. So actually, there's a lot of fire department that's doing evacuation. The military is there with like military grade amphibious vehicles, and also the state has assigned multiple helicopters like Mi-17 or Black Hawk helicopters that are going around looking for people that are in need of help and evacuation. Actually, yesterday we had our railway enthusiast club had a train that went that was going to Świdnica that you visited, and it turned out that there are no more trains from Świdnica to Wrocław, and there were people waiting in the station, and the club just picked them up and they traveled on our train to Wrocław.
That was nice.
So that was a good thing. The guys were there.
Okay. Well, as you can see, the situation is ominous, let's put it that way. We actually have a news crew behind me. I was just talking to the man, and he's actually from the Czech Republic. They're from the National Czech Republic News. It's very bad there in the Czech Republic as well. He's telling me they've come here to film it here in Poland, and he said that this river is just going to keep rising behind me. Now after this, we're going to go to another area in Poland, and we're going to check out this area where it was the highest point during the 1997 floods. And after that, we're going to end the video. So let's check that out next.
We are here at a special place, so a place that was made famous in 1997 during the flood. So exactly here where we are standing, a very famous picture was taken, and you can see on the picture the signage is that sign here. A picture of a man who was trying to get from down the street and to the main railway station, and he was swimming through the water, and right here he became very tired, and he was like in much danger of running out of strength and drowning. And there was a road sign here, and he clung to that sign, he captured that sign, and this was what saved his life. It's actually rescued by the people who took the picture, who were on a pontoon going around the district, and they found him. And that's one of the symbols of 1997. Hopefully this time it will not be this bad. Also because my flat is right there, so just a few meters from where we are now. So fingers crossed, this year it won't be so bad.
Okay, so we're up on the bridge now, as you can see, and we're just watching a lot of the stuff coming by. A lot of debris is coming by. There's some debris there. A lot of debris flowing through here. It's not something you normally see.
And the water is also, you can see how muddy it is, murky, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Usually the water is much clearer.
It looks like almost fragments of wood. Okay, so it's a developing situation, and we're going to monitor it in the days ahead. But I just want everybody to be aware of what's going on. So luckily, most of Poland is not affected. It's just the southern part. It's other parts of Central and Eastern Europe, and possibly Wrocław in a day or two.
Yeah. And guys, if you want to help, there are a lot of needs for the people that were displaced and suffered through the flood. There are a lot of charity drives on the internet. You can look for them. If you are interested, put it in the comments. Maybe Kerry can add some links. I will provide it to them.
Okay, sure. If you can provide some links, we'll definitely do that. Add some charity links if you want to help. We'll put that below in the comments.
And we'll keep you guys updated.
Okay, thanks for joining us, and stay safe out there. Take care, everyone.
Bye.